before they said he was dead? Wumi, yes. Question: whether on that day or thereafter, did you make any attempt to go to that hospital to make a request for the medical cause of death because they were the last to lay their hands on him? Wumi, sir, ever since my husband had died, things have not been stable for me. Question: did you make effort to send someone? Wumi, I did not. Question: you took him from that place they declared him dead to another hospital? Wumi, yes. Question: what was the reason for taking him to another hospital? Wumi, because I never believed he was dead. Question: when you got to the gates of the second hospital, what happened? Did they still take him to their ward? Wumi, they didn't take him to their ward. There is one space at the reception and there was a bed there, but I was outside, still holding my baby. I just saw his cousin fall on the floor, Darosha, crying. So I knew it had really happened. Question. Now let's put a connection between the February 2022 event and the 10th September event. If you look at what your husband went through, you know you said he had died before he finally died. Wumi, yes. Question. Now that means if you want the court to believe that's your statement, that means he had been dying. Wumi, he had been overthinking. Question. Wait, don't put Yoruba or African sentiment into what we are doing. You said he had been dying long before he finally died. Wumi, yes. Question. If you want the court to believe that, that means something must have been in the system that had been killing him gradually. Wumi, no, that was not what I meant. Question. But that was what you mentioned to the court. Wumi, I meant he had not been active. Question. You have to be clear to the court. If you are saying he had died, it means he had something in his body system that had been killing him before the last event that killed him. Wumi, that was not what I meant. Question. So what did you mean? Wumi, I believe if his brain had not been fucked up, if he had not been having trust issues, if the system had not failed him, just because his oppressors had connections everywhere, and because of what had been happening, how the oppressors made the public feel he was a drug addict, I feel he would have gone to the hospital. Question. I would be correct to say that when you mentioned that he had been dying long before he died, you are only talking about psychological trauma he went through and not the medical cause of his death. Will that be correct, Wumi? Yes. Question. When you said he had been dying long before he finally died, am I correct to say that you meant that he went through psychological trauma and that has nothing to do with medical cause of his death? Well, will that be correct, Wumi? Yes. Question. That means if you want the court to believe all that you have been saying, the issue of bullying, the arrest of NDLA may not have had immediate connection with the events that culminated into his death on the 12th of September 2023 medically. I know you had said psychological trauma, but medically, Wumi, sir, I do not know. You he said they gave him stuff to take. Question. You are going to tell the court what you want the court to look into. I am saying what led to his final death was medically. A medical cause, not psychological trauma. Wumi, yes. Question. If that is the case, the events of February 2022 can only have link to what happened between September 12th in psychological trauma alone and has no medical effects. Wumi, yes. Question. We have established that you mentioned to the court that you sat in between Prime Boy and your husband all through the period. The car was parked in because he was angry when he stepped out of the car. Question. And those people who were going to collect money from him still did not hold him down? Wumi, no. Question. You have said there was a lot of people moving around asking for money. So those mob were still very much around the vehicle and he left around them who was paving way for him. Wumi, nobody was doing that. Question. And they did not at any point in time ask for money. Wumi, some people were still talking. It was crowded. It was a show. Some were still talking at the back, but he had a mission. He wants to go and meet somebody, and he was not answering anybody. And immediately I saw him, and he was angry with the way his friend was talking to him. Question. Then he went to the other side. Wumi, yes. Question. At what point in time his friend was still sitting in the vehicle? Wumi, yes. Question. And sat in the vehicle throughout? Wumi, yes. Question. Throughout the period of their fight, there was no time he stepped out of the vehicle. Wumi, yes, it was after he stepped out. Question. And you that you were sitting in the vehicle beside his friend, as at the time he left through the other side, you left to call who? Wumi, the people inside the other Prado. Question. For all the period you three were in the vehicle, none of the security aid was around. Wumi, we did not go with security. We only went with his workers and his friends. Question. But you mentioned bodyguard the other time. Wumi, the event bouncer, not his personal bouncer. Question. Those event bouncers, were they not very much close to you when you were in the vehicle? Wumi, no, they were not close to us. We only went to call them. Wumi, who went to call them? Question, who went to call them? Wumi. My husband asked one of the people standing to help him call the bouncer, and when the bouncer came, he said he wanted to go, but the bouncer said he should wait till the other artists finish performing. Question, at what point in time when a feast at that point in time when a feast off ensued between him and his friend, where were they? Wumi, they were not there. They were trying to control everybody. Question, but when they saw him stepping out of the vehicle, Wumi, I don't think they saw him. People were there normally before the thing happened, and the bouncer could not stop them because they were much and could not stop them from coming close to him. And when the fight happened, I don't think the bouncers could have suspected that such a thing happened. Question, aside from the fact that this friend got him angry because of the way Mohbad's brother reacted to him, aside from that event, what happened again that made your husband hit the screen of the vehicle to the extent that he sustained that injury? Wumi, it was during the fight. Question, you have said the door was closed throughout. Wumi, no, I said he opened it. I think he opened it. Question, don't think. Wumi, immediately he stepped out, I went to his people in the other Prado, so I didn't really know. That was why I said, I think. It was the narration I heard after the whole instance I'm using to judge. Question, you did not see them fight. It was what you were told when you got back. Wumi, yes. Question, as at the time you came back, they had been separated. Wumi, yes. Question, and it was when you were going home you noticed the screen got broken. Wumi, yes. Question, so you cannot describe to the court the level of the heat on the car. You couldn't have established how heavy it was. Wumi, no, I wasn't there. Question, aside from this event, has your husband attended any other show that this kind of scenario happened? Wumi, no. Question, and there was no time he fought anybody in his lifetime? Wumi, no. Question, to the extent of exchanging blows? Wumi, himself and Prime Boy are always having disagreements, friendship fights, sometimes exchanging. Question, hot words? Yes. Wumi, yes. Question, of my husband. As a conclusion, is there any way you could say that to the court? Mr. Oyakrinde, my lord, will be objecting. The conclusion should be from my lord, the court. I think the question is that from her perspective and from everything that is happening, can she conclude that it is the injection or what? Mr. Oyakrinde, my lord, with due respect, sir, we are still expecting the postmortem examination. So whatever she says, the court. It doesn't matter. The question is not a conclusive one. Take, for instance, somebody asks that you gave your husband paracetamol. What led to you giving him paracetamol? It is the same vein you ask the question that looking at all this before the court. Is it the medical, the injection, or the trauma? From your own mind, what is the cause? Some people will say that, do you suspect anybody from the police station? I think this is where this question is going. Wumi, sir, I do not know. That is why we seek out for an autopsy. The court. She has answered your question. She says she does not know, and that is why she's here. NBA, my lord, that is all. Cross-examination by Mrs. Abiodun Kolawole. Oh, hold on. Let me just take one. I've read 100 pages. Okay, let's go. Cross-examination by Mrs. Abiodun Kolawole. Question. I express my deepest condolence to you. People have asked several questions I intend to ask from the testimony you narrated before this court and from your written deposition. What did you study while in school? Wumi, English. Question. If I may ask you, you've been using words that repeats itself in your written deposition and your testimony. What does the word oppressor connotes to you grammatically? Wumi, I feel oppressor means people that have more influence than you. Question. Good. The court. What is the answer? Oppressor means, Wumi, being cheated by people that have more influence. Question. How? Wumi, I don't know. Question. Who are these your husband's oppressors? Wumi, his oppressors are the same people that drove him into depression. Question. Do you know them? Wumi, yes, I do. Question. Can you please name them to this court? Wumi, the label boss and his cohorts. Question. Who is the person behind this label boss? And if you know their names, name names. Wumi, Naira Marley, C Black, My C. Question. Who is this C Black? Wumi, Naira Marley signee. Question. Who is my C? Wumi, he used to be my husband's friend. Question. Do you know his real name? Wumi, his name is Michael. Sid and I don't know Sid's name, Tunde Sheyi, and there's a guy called West. Question. Like a person who so much loved her husband, can you recall or remember any event where your husband was ever bullied, waylaid, attacked, or harassed in view of your definition of oppression? Wumi, October 5th, 2022, he had issues with his label manager, Tunde, who happens to be Naira Marley's cousin. He wanted to use Ayan, who was his manager before he got signed as his manager, but the label boss said he doesn't want it, that he would be the one to appoint a manager for him himself, and he has to let go of Ayan, the same person who had been managing him before he got signed to the label. Question. I'm asking you, you said oppressor. Can you please cast your mind back to an event or an action, an act done to your husband that have made you to come to the conclusion that these are my oppressors? Wumi, ever since Naira Marley appointed Tunde to be his manager, it had not been easy. Most of the work that Tunde was to do, I was the one doing it. For instance, if he needs stylists for his wares, he would always reach out to me. I was in school and I was always shuffling it at that. And at some point, he got tired and he complained to the labor boss that the manager only goes to shows with him and does not do his work, and that he wants to change his manager. And he complained that he's not being promoted enough. And he said he wants to start promoting. And the label assured that the next single, which was Peace, will be promoted. And when he dropped the song, it was not promoted as usual. He was worried and he will come to me and I cannot do anything. And because my husband has low self-esteem, no matter how he's hurting, he'll say he's fine and he's not fine. And I told him to reach out to the label boss himself. And he reached out to the label boss and he said next time they will promote the song. And when he dropped the song, we were expecting them to promote him as promised, but nothing was done. and he had a group chat from himself, his labor boss, and the manager, Tunde, and they were talking in the group chat. And something led to an argument between my husband and the manager, and he said he doesn't want him again, and that he wants another person, and he's tired of the way he's managing him. And I was in a room with my husband's father because I was 3 months pregnant then. And he came to visit and say hi to me, and none of us knew when he went out. And I went to report to his dad upstairs that Promise was having an argument with Sunday, and I didn't want him to fight, that he should come and help me talk to him because he was in the studio. And while we were talking, I never knew they had gone. And I went back downstairs and I saw that my husband was not in the house again with three of his workers, Ore, Aji, and Damola. And I was worried and I tried calling all of them and they were not picking their calls. And 20 minutes after, another friend called Abraham picked up my call and I heard noises and I knew something had happened. Question. During his lifetime, you and your husband, have you ever taken any step on what to do about his oppression and what steps did you take? Wumi. That was when they assaulted him in their house when he went to complain to the manager. Question. Apart from he going to the manager outside the Malian's house, what steps did you take? Wumi. I was telling him that he was almost done with his time and he had 2 months left and he should just wait so that they can hand over his royalties and catalog to him. But he said he was tired and does not want to continue again. What if they kill him? And I accepted that truly. He sees better than I do and he stopped associating with the Malians and he had been on his own ever since. Question. I just want to take you to something that went viral. You know, there was a voice note and I believe you know the voice of your husband. Wumi? Yes. Question. A voice note that says, Wumi, I warned you. Don't use that cloth to rub my body again. Do you want to kill me? And he started cursing you. Typo. Can you please tell this court what led to that utterance and what kind of cloth was it? Wumi, after the NDLA attack, I said it to court that he forgot things easily. He was paranoid and in fear and even went as far as forgetting his phone's password. And I was the only person he was having fights with. And he said he does not seem to understand anything again. And everybody was saying he was mad. And he would come to me and ask me, am I mad? And I would tell him, no, you are not mad. The label even told him to travel out of the country for his treatment, that he has something, and he said he does not have anything on his head. Question, is that what led to that argument or utterances? Wumi, that day I was in his house and something happened. He came to me. I left the house angrily, and at that period of time, my husband was not stable to the extent that he forgot his Instagram account password. He did not remember anything. His family knew, and his father had to take him to his sister's house at Songo. But he texted me that he did not understand the drugs they were giving to him. Is that what led to the utterance? Wumi, the day this thing happened, he said something I was not cool with. And I left the house and it was a day to my birthday, and because of the whole stress, I have been the one dealing with him. At some point, everybody left him. Question, what was the cloth that he alleged you used to rub his body? Wumi, he alleged everybody of so many things at that period of time. I wasn't the only one. I did that voice note myself. And the purpose for doing it is because he might wake up one day and say, Wumi, something. He will end up apologizing to me. And when I say, babe, you said this and this when you were angry, he would deny ever saying it. Question. He also asked you a question. Wumi, where is my other phone? Mr. T. Olawale, Your Honor, we are here for the circumstances that led to the death of Mohbad. So this taking us to whatever happened between them, we are not here for gist. We are here for serious issues. Mrs. Abiodun Kolawole, back to you again, Wumi. Just calm down. Put sentiments aside. Please, what was that WhatsApp message? Why did you seize his phone and got the message deleted? Wumi, I did not seize his phone. That was the phone I was using. What happened to my husband those periods? The same phone he was talking about was the phone I was using. He gave it to me, 11 Pro Max. The same phone he was complaining about. That was the same phone I was using. This period of time, I understood him so well and that was the reason I did that recording to play to him. The day I heard that voice note, I called his father, his mother, and said, Daddy, Mommy, I am tired. I thought I could cope. And his daddy went to my sister's place to apologize on his son's behalf that I shouldn't leave him. And it came around that same day, I did that voice note, and we went back home and I did that voice note from a friend's phone. And it was another friend that I stopped talking to that released that voice note a day after my husband died to defame me. Question. Please, during the course of your marriage from the day you say your traditional marriage till the last time of his life, did you ever have any cause to get entangled with any other man except your husband? The court. Please, let's be careful. You are not allowed to go into her character. Wumi, please let me clear myself. Mrs. Abiodun Kolawole, my lord, I'm not embarrassing her. Please, let's sit down. Mr. Olawale, no, your honor wants to rule on that question. Mrs. Kolawole, Wumi, please, you said your husband had a nurse. What is the name of that nurse that treats him often? Wumi, her name is Nurse Fumi. Question, the same Fumi, the one that treated him? Wumi, another Fumi. Question, I'll also take you back to the scene. You said during your testimony there was somebody called Spending that sat at the back of the Prado. Wumi, yes. Question, you were sitting in the middle. Wumi, yes. Question, your husband and prime boy, please, how did it happen? You said the injury sustained was as a result of the fight in the Prado. How did your husband exchange? Wumi, he came down from the car. Miss Oyakinde, she has said he came down from the vehicle and turned around to the other side. By Mrs. Kolawole now. From your exposure so far as a rapper and what you have known so far, please tell this court, when the record label signs you, what is the kind of relationship we should expect? Can you describe how the relationship should be to the court? Wumi, I feel the relationship there should be love, and at the same time, it should be strictly business. Question, let me ask you, from that scene of the accident, you said the blood was not really gushing, just a drop. Wumi, I didn't notice until he got to the room to meet me. Question, when he got to the room, was the blood still gushing? Wumi, it wasn't. I already used my baby's cotton wool. Question, how did you have a bedsheet soaked with blood? Wumi, the bedsheets? Nothing was soaked with blood, man. It was just the hand that he slept till the next day. His mother, or was it his brother, used the bedsheet to sleep for like a week after my husband died. It was not really gushing. It was just a normal stain. Question, who broke the news of this death in the car? Wumi, I was not in the car with them. I was not in the car with them. Question, my lord, that will be all for her. The court. Any other question? Mrs. Ogusom, Your Honor, I don't know if the court can allow me to ask a few questions. I'm grateful. Ms. Akinde, my lord, the same way you did not allow because he is also with the father's lawyer, we have already set the precedence. The court, counsel, I take any other questions. I just asked any other question. Mr. Oyakinde, my lord, he's still with the same counsel for the father. The court. The cross-examination is over now. Now I asked any other question. I can even ask the public for any question. There might be a single question that somebody can throw from the public that may help us solve this. This is because it is different from a regular court. Mrs. Oyakinde, I accept, my lord, but in this instance, Mrs. Delichi Asagba, my lord, I laid down the foundation for this coroner inquest, and I said that my lord, in the judicial inquirer in this matter, as the coroner in charge, she can decide to ask anybody to say anything. She can allow and disallow. The coroner inquest does not go for appeal. So however my lady wants to handle this coroner, please, my lady, you have the court. Every question is important to the coroner. The court. This is the different scenario. This matter is a worldwide issue and it needs every support that can render to the coroner to decide on the cause of death. Please, any other question? Mr. Goswami, Mr. Loba, my condolences. In your written deposition before this court that you swore to on the 25th day of October, in paragraph 3, you said on the 22nd day of February 2022, the deceased, his friend Michael, aka myself, and his friend and his girlfriend Dominica got a call from another of his friends. My question is this: Michael worked for the deceased, Wumi. Michael did not have any position. He used to be his friend. Question: Did Michael live with the deceased? Wumi: He doesn't. Question: Does he go out with the deceased for shows? Wumi: Sometimes, not regularly. Question: They were friends? Wumi: They used to be. Question: Please, can you tell this court at what point Michael and the deceased part ways? Wumi: It was after the NDLA issue. Question: Is it this year? Wumi: Last year. Question: What did you discover or on why the deceased and Michael part ways? The deceased told me, that's the Wumi now. The deceased told me, his father and every member of the family, that he noticed that Michael is acting like an informant to Naira Marley and the rest. He even went as far as saying that there was a time he approached Michael about the way his promotion was going, and Michael advised him and told him to meet a lawyer to fight against the Malians for his royalties and everything, and he followed him to meet the lawyer. And he said he noticed Michael was recording every of his conversation. One thing about my husband is he trusted Michael to some point. So when he got to the house, he narrated everything to me and said he saw Michael pressing his phone. And when he got there, he wasn't saying anything, probably because he did not want his voice to be in the conversation. And my husband still watched to know better. And after the NDLA period, he said Michael will tell him to go to Naira Marley. The managed to start talking even though he knew most things he's saying does not tally because of how he's feeling. He will tell him to go there and talk, and whenever they get there, Michael will not say anything. He will just be watching. I was close to Myci too, and at some point he thought I was working with Myci for the Malian, and my husband stopped talking to me for a week because he thought we were all together. But when I went to his sister's place at Songwater, the mother, sister, everybody, we did a meeting, and my husband narrated how he had the feeling towards me, and he thought I and Michael were friends. And the mother said her son had said the same thing. That do I have anything in contact with Michael? And I said no. I only know him as my husband's friend and the father, and everybody said I should stop talking to Michael because he's an informant to the Malians, and I stopped, and even my husband stopped talking to him. Question: So you agree with me that because the deceased discovered that Michael was a mole, that was planted in.
If no one has told you, I am telling you right here, you are sick. So much for justice. You people are just doing too much. I don't understand. How can you say this is justice for Mohbad? How does those questions correlate with what we have here concerning everything, as in the testimonies that has been flying around concerning Mohbad's death? You are there saying Wunmi gave birth in the Trado medical home, so perhaps the baby was switched, or you were also referring to Karimo's. I don't understand. You people are sick. Oh, if you people did not say anybody to tell you, I'm telling you, Susie, you are sick. Forget all those in fact, your accent, that accent yesterday was annoying. I had this. I even wanted to throw up. Like, must you fake all this accent because you are abroad? Some of us don't live there. We come and we go. To the glory of God, we are okay here. And show she because you are in diaspora. If you are so confident about who you are, please come down to Nigeria now. The floor is open for everybody. You can always go to Zone 2. At least the initial police station that has taken this up from the onset was Panti in Yaba. And Baba wrote a petition to Zone 2. If you don't want Zone 2, take it to Abuja. Susie, come down and ask your questions. You said you have evidence. And as you are coming, please bring out the evidence. You people are just mad. You are sick. You are sick. And I still ask, is this a competition? Who are you people competing with? Everything that has been said about Baba Mohbad are all, in fact, everything is there on the social media. People can make reference to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 interviews this man has granted. There are videos all over, there are voice notes all over, littering all over the social media. So please tell me, how does this how does the question you were asking Wumi, how does it correlate? But because you people just want to attack her personality, and one idiot that claims to be educated, I tell people the fact that you speak English, the fact that you are knowledgeable. When I say knowledgeable, perhaps he has an avenue to know much about the law. It is out there for anybody that wants to know. I tell people, if you want to know about the law, all you need to do is research. Like somebody was insulting Dawa class yesterday there on their platform, saying is Google Kineko Kineko. I said that is why Google is there. The fact that your own head is blocked, you do not want to learn, you don't want to know, you do not want to be free from this slavery of weary that you people are doing all around. That is why you are not researching. For someone like me, I believe no man is an island. And yes, and how would I say, you keep learning. As long as you are alive, you keep learning. Where I do not understand things, I ask questions. Google is there. Even if Google doesn't bring something that I do my research, as in I go further. I take steps ahead. I go deep in my research. I ask questions. If it means going to a lawyer, if it means going to a doctor, I seek this knowledge from professionals. But you people, I don't know, maybe because the platform maybe because you people have this opportunity to be on TikTok. TikTok, let's see how your lives will continue to be in shambles, because people don't have lives. You don't have lives. As I am talking now, please quote me anywhere. Ask me to meet you anywhere. I will in person. Because I'll come there and defend whatever I say. You people will be there in the Western world, in the Western country rather. You'll be there doing damages to issues here in Nigeria, all because you have peanuts, you have coins. I don't understand. These things will definitely come back at you people. Note it. Know this and no peace. There is life after all this. Mohbad's case will definitely come to an end one day. 4 years, 5 years, 7 years, only God knows. But I believe one day there will be an end to all this. So Kilefe Mashe, what do you intend to do with your life afterwards? A lot of you have lost colleagues, you've lost friendship, you've lost so many people that are beneficial to your life, people that would even help you attain high levels. And you are still comfortable in that nonsense. Thinking, okay, nobody will hold you because you are here, you have the platform to talk. I just want you to know this, aristocrat. Like I said, I'm coming back to you. No one is competing. And in fact, I was so happy with the way rule of law presented his own submission yesterday. He made it clear that the law doesn't work with emotions. If you people have anything against Wunmi, please, it's 8 months already. 8 good months. Stop hiding behind TikTok, whatever talks. Come down to Nigeria. If you want people to support you with tickets, flight ticket or anything, we would. All we need is evidence. If you feel you cannot send it down, bring it down. Come down and come and face Wunmi. Susie, you said because Karimo said something, does it even make sense to you people? You just want to attack this widow. Kilo Shefuyi. It's appalling. Honestly, I look at all of you, the fact that I don't even know you, I just because all these things you people are sowing, you will reap. Come on. You feel now you can talk. Please do all the talking. Continue. With all pleasure, please talk on. The fame. No one is, in fact, nobody is going to arrest you. Nkoto mamuya muni. Nkoto masonyimu asonyimu.
Ó tiẹ̀ ti ń so wọ́n, ó ti ń so wọ́n wọn kò sọ ni.
Nkoto mashenyi ashenyi. O mashenyi
He's really
gidi
doing.
teni le sunkún síta. Because I just look at you people. Kuta ló ń bá yín compete. débi wípé wá wò pé the next thing nípò kí n torí pé àwọn kan ti sọ nǹkan kan ẹ̀yin náà ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ with facts and evidence. That is all we need. Enough of all this propaganda. Me, I don't have any wahala. Like I said, I don't go about though. Àná yẹn mo kàn tiẹ̀ wò pé okay, who is this aristocrat tó tiẹ̀ ń play kíní wọn. But tí mo dẹ̀ dórí platform, mo ráwọn èèyàn torí wọ́n pé mo pé okay, let me hear their own submission. For mo wá rí pé you as aristocrat tó ń sọ pé wà impartial, you are not partial. You are a very partial person. You are very biased. Very, very. And Susie, like I said, lọ tọ́jú ara ẹ. Àìsàn ń ṣe o sick gan wọn ọmọ ni. Àìsàn ń ṣe gan wèrè gidi ni. Ṣé mo pé lóyìnbó yẹn wèrè ló pọ̀ jù nínú yín. Torí ẹ gbogbo yín máa ń lo medication. You don't use Wunmi's case to come and be sought, to come and be.
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má bínú. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ta ló ń
as a kílẹ̀ ń pè depression. Hello.
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ta ló ń jẹ́
Depression.
It was a statement that made me go to that platform.
Okay,
therefore, that's Madam Aries.
Okay,
So
who
that
is
Madam
Iron
Aries.
Lady? Who is Iron Lady?
Yes, it's Aries. Iron Lady Aries. I saw her too. Yes, she was one of the panelists
Curses on
yesterday.
Liam.
Okay.
Curses on Liam.
You
That
see,
woman, that's
yes,
Susie.
like I said, Aries too. I wanted to give her our own those too. Madam, I don't know you, but the world is watching you. You are a joke. Wallahi, at your age, you are a joke. I heard you saying, yesterday you said something on Aristocrats platform that there is no big deal in the police taking Wunmi home. To you, it's no big deal. I tell you today, I am in Nigeria. It's
Let
a
her go
biggie,
to
my
Nigeria
darling.
and let's see if they will take her.
My dear, Iron Lady Aries, it's a big deal. The way our Nigerian police operate here is far different from how they operate over there. They would not even pamper any criminal. Putting you in an underground cell where you will not even be able to stand up. I have been to zone 2. When I say I've been to zone 2, I know how zone 2 is. Underground cell. Komaka. They don't pamper criminals here, my darling. Iron Lady Abikilokberai. You are so far from the truth and you confidently come out to say trash. You are a joke to whoever it is that you call yourself, your children, your family. They should look at you and tell you, Mama, go get a seat. Go and sit down. No police here in Nigeria, no police would give anybody drink, Pepsi, or whatever it is that you were making reference to yesterday, that they gave somebody Pepsi. They are telling you are welcome. The way police here, the way they operate here is far different from how they operate wherever you are. I don't know which of the country you are.
Of course.
I could remember my second visit to the US. I had an issue at the airport. And at the time they were trying to sort it, they wanted to know if my husband was still in the US whilst I came in or something. I told them, you people have been delaying me. It's over 2 hours. And to fact me. And I need to go. If you know you are not going to allow me, please take me back. Air flights, aircraft, and I told them I wanted to eat. I was and I was hungry because I was pregnant at that time. And I was like 2 months pregnant. Most of them, I'm hungry. They gave me food. They gave me one rice. I don't even want rice, chicken, but I said, I said rice. Fried rice and chicken. I can't eat it. I told them point blank, please, because I gave them my phone, my husband's phone number and everything. They called my husband right here in Nigeria. They were fine with their interrogation and everything, investigation. They told me to go after 3 good hours, not for anything. So mo dem mo wípé ìlú yẹn ló ti máa ń pamper wọn níbí ìyá kì í pamper criminal. So the fact that they gave Wunmi that kind of treatment shows that one more òtítọ́ and they felt for her. You sounded so stupid yesterday. And the fact that you people make reference to that country. Bully Wunmi. Bully can you people actually do all this to her? You cannot.
Well.
So stop making all this reference to where you stay. It's enough. In fact, enough is enough. You people should, Madam Aries, come down to Nigeria. Calm down. You are all
She won't come.
cowards. You are all cowards. If you have 1.5 or whatever it is that you gave to Boa TV to go and cover it, kill and cover. Is it an event? Is there an event going on there? What is the paparazzi all about? Kill and cover. If you are on for justice for Mohbad, kini gbogbo eléyìí? In the past 8 months, this is evidence it's all about hearsay, propaganda, lies, falsehood, and all this. And yet, they rope and say the right thing. And Lord Joko, Aries, kì í ṣe ọmọdé. Lord Joko kó lọ ronú ara ẹ̀, because èmi mọ̀ wípé tí àlọ́ bá lọ àbọ̀ máa ń bọ̀ wá kó èrè ṣe ọwọ́ ẹ̀. Sórí gbogbo owó tó ná lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yìí, tí ó bá máa fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní kó ẹ̀san ẹ̀. Aries, kò ní tán gbogbo ìṣòro ayé ẹ̀. Ekpeko, I am telling you this as a mother. No mother would ever, as in a very good mother, ẹni tí ọmọ tí ojú ara rẹ̀ jáde tí ò ní rí àrídájú ọ̀rọ̀ tó dẹ̀ dúró ní dúró wípé sẹ́ o fẹ́ báyé Wùnmí jẹ́, o fẹ́ bá ọmọ ìdébì kan kí lẹ̀ ṣẹ̀. Aries, àwọn wo ló ń fọ̀ǹdẹ̀, àwọn ló ń bankroll ẹ̀. Jáde kó sọ̀rọ̀. Torí èmi mọ̀ wípé ẹ̀san máa ké lórí ẹ̀. Ẹ̀mí àágùn Aries wà kó èrè sí ọwọ́ ẹ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Wùnmí. Ọlọ́run á bá mi dá ẹ lẹ́mìí gígùn, á ṣe lẹ́mìí gígùn, wà á kó èrè ṣẹ́. Torí bẹ́ẹ̀ mi ẹ̀ bá ṣe gùn sí, wà á wá ké wáyé wàhálà, ò wá ní rí. Ọlọ́run wà ní ṣàánú ẹ̀. Because yesterday I heard all the nonsense you were saying on that platform. Wípé kí ni big deal? Lóòótọ́ ìwọ̀n rán àwọn èèyàn wá. The fact that they did not let them enter the police station doesn't mean anything. Why should they be there in the first place?
Okay.
Why should they be there in the first place? Who are you trying to impress? Whatever coverage even if eventually those people were there, whatever coverage they had at that point in time, do you think that will be substantial in the court of law? No, my dear. They are still a third party. A third party. Nǹkan tí Wùnmí bá kọ sílẹ̀, tí bàbá Mohbad kọ sílẹ̀, tí àwọn ọlọ́pàá náà authenticate, okay, this is what we got as their statement, is what will be presented in the court of law. So what is your problem? Why don't you just sit back? If you know you are a true mother that you claim to be, sit back. Okay, ẹ ti jàjà yìí, ẹ ti wá ń jà ń ṣòṣì bí ẹran aṣẹ́wó in the past 8 months. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń lù ló ń bọ́ lọ́wọ́ yín, bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń mu ló ń jábọ́, kẹ́tẹ̀ wá fẹ̀yìntì kó dáa. Wo ẹ ṣe jẹ́ ká wo bí tó bá yẹ pé lóòtítọ́ àtòdodo justice lè fẹ́ o. Èmi mọ̀ pé kò sí justice nínú agenda yín. You are all out to attack Wunmi, and yes, you are being bankrolled. You are being bankrolled. Owó ẹkún, owó òṣì. Kò sí ẹni tó ń pawó òkúta tó fi ń ra ọjà ìrìn. Kò possible. Ẹ ń pawó ẹkún, ẹ fẹ́ fi ra ọjà ìrìn. You are making somebody cry. You are putting another family through this humiliation. Because bí bàbá Mohbad ṣe wà yìí mi ò tẹ̀ pity yẹn tiẹ̀. Wèrè mú wèrè ròde ni. In conjunction ní òun náà bí ìwà ẹ̀ ló jẹ́ kó pàdé irú yín. Because if he was true to himself, if he was sincere to himself, he would know pé no. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ìbá tẹ̀ ń tì kò ní tira ẹ̀. But because òun náà ní agenda, òun náà ní èrò burúkú lọ́kàn ló ṣe jẹ́ kó pàdé ẹni ibi. So ẹ̀yẹn má tì í lọ. Ibi tó máa já sí àmàrí. You people should leave Wunmi alone. If you cannot come to Nigeria and come and face her, you people should forget about all this social media thing. Use that elolanta ticket, Airpeace to make it easy fún gbogbo yín. Ẹ lọ ra ticket Airpeace kẹ́ máa bọ̀ Nigeria. Ẹ jẹ́ kí gbogbo àjọ fojú ajé kò ní sọ. Kájọ máa pàdé ní court, kájọ máa pàdé ní police station. We have all heard this. Hearing this night, I've heard it. I heard part of it the time she went to the Coroner. Mogbo, at least I heard from two different. I heard from King White and I think maybe Sakiki or so. And this is exactly what Mr. Dawa read out. Kò fi ẹyọ kan pé méjì. So what else do you want? Bàbá nìkan náà ni Joseph Aloba nìkan náà lọ́rẹ́ ò jọra wọn. Ọ̀rọ̀ kan á sọ lẹ́ẹ̀mẹ́ta. Tó bá sọ A láàárọ̀, á sọ B lọ́sàn. tó bá ní red lòún rí á ní white and purple lòún rí lọ́sàn. Does that not tell you that nǹkan kan ṣẹlẹ̀ bọ̀gbà tẹ́ pé irú kan ọbẹ̀ gbẹ̀gìrì ọgbẹ́ láàní gbogbo yín ẹ̀yin aláyé bàjẹ́ ẹ̀yin ọ̀bàyé jẹ́ ẹ̀yin tó jẹ́ pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe wà agent èṣù nìyí agent èṣù kò dẹ̀ síbi mi ò rí ibi tí èṣù ti ń bọ̀ èṣù ò lè borí ọmọ Ọlọ́run. Wunmi is a child of God and Mohbad is a child of destiny. I tell you today, there was a reason why that boy's corpse was exhumed. Kò ṣẹlẹ̀ rí in the history of Nigeria. That is why I keep saying it. Wunmi would have gone through so much. Tọ́mọ yẹn ò ní lè sọ tó bá jẹ́ pé gbogbo àṣírí yóò tú because wọ́n ti plan ẹ̀, it's a pre-planned thing. Pẹ̀lú gbogbo nǹkan tá à ń gbọ́ lọ́tún lósì yìí. Joseph gan ti hùwà ìwà tó ń wù bíi wípé yes ọmọ yìí tó bá kú nǹkan báyìí ni mo fẹ́ ṣe fún Wunmi. Àṣírí kí gbogbo àṣírí yín lè tú káṣírí yín má bò kí ẹni bí má bàa jẹ báwo how would I say it kí ẹ̀yin ẹni bí kọ́nà má bàa kí kọ́nà lè tú àṣírí yín ṣá. Let me just use that word in a nutshell. And you people think you are doing the right thing. And I'm even happy to an extent, at least, what's his name? Aristocrat told like 2 of his own followers yesterday. Yes, without an evidence. Evidence has a concrete evidence. Lè ṣe anything. Wunmi, Darosha, Abura are the principal witness. In Kotoba solo dúró in the court of law. Nǹkan táwọn mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta bá sọ àti bí abíyàn méjì mẹ́ta mẹ́rin tí wọ́n bá sọ. Thank God, Darosha said he called Baba Mohbad. Àwọn kan sọ pé kò pé kílódé tí ò ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ kílódé tí ṣe rò pé do you people expect them to start coming out and start having banters with Baba speakers, the likes of Bukky Jesse, and for what? Nítorí kíni? Right, so the time to just kọ́ sọ̀rọ̀ náà lọ sọ̀rọ̀ yìí. And when the investigations go deep, they would actually bring out their call, the call history. Yes, the court would actually call for it.
Yeah.
They will go and bring out their call history. In fact, if the judge wants to hear their conversation, it is all in record. So, kí ló ń ṣe yín tẹ̀ ń ṣe bí wèrè tẹ́lẹ̀ lọ fara yín balẹ̀. It's high time kẹ́ jáwọ́ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Wunmi ẹ lọ sinmi. Stop bringing all sorts of propaganda, lies and everything just to engage your platforms. Gbogbo yín olè kò sí èèyàn kankan nínú yín tó wáyé eré. Olè lion òṣì tó máa pa yín kìnìún ayé tó máa pa yín kìnìún ọ̀run tó máa ya yín jẹ tí gbogbo yín wá kiri. Tẹ́ ń fi orúkọ ọmọ lọ́mọ tẹ́ ń ba orúkọ ọmọ lọ́mọ jẹ́ tẹ́ ń ṣépè fún ọmọ tí ò ṣẹ̀yìn. Aries, I tell you once more, madam, enough. O ti ṣètò fún 8 months. Come down to Nigeria. Ṣebó òṣè, you are on the right path. It's all justice for me. Ṣebí yàn kọ́lẹ́gbẹ́ yín tó wá lọ́jọ́ sí, madam tó lòun wá láti UK, tó ń sọ rádaràda ní àti ẹ̀mọ́ bí mi tẹ̀ rí update lórí yẹn bóyá ọ̀tẹ̀ ti mú, tó lọ́bọ̀ Elégùṣì ló lọ́mọ.
Arúgbó òṣì.
Àárí, ó jẹ́ kọ́ mú yẹn náà mọ́ àrífàní, mi mọ́ bó ṣe jẹ́ kó lọ. Ọjọ́ yẹn bó ṣe ń jáde nínú court ló jẹ́ káwọn tó máa mú kọ́ arrest ẹ̀ ń ta pé okay, you know so much, let's go to the station, go and bring your evidence. Nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ lè ṣe nílùú tẹ́ ń gbé because ẹ rò pé Nigeria is not lawless, especially when a case is open by Mohbad's case is global, it's a global case, so they are also treading with so much care. Anything tí Nigeria police bá ṣe, whether you like it or not, they are also threading carefully. Wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe nǹkan tó máa tarnish image wọn. Wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe nǹkan tó máa di pé wàhálà máa ṣẹlẹ̀. So gbogbo bí tẹ́ ń lọ náà tẹ́ ti ń bọ̀, ọ̀dọ̀ ẹ̀ńbẹ̀lẹ̀ńbẹ̀ tẹ́ lọ. Ṣọ́sọ́ mi pé ẹ̀ńbẹ̀lẹ̀ńbẹ̀ máa kóyàn kọ̀kọ̀ sí prison without the Nigerian police. Hell no. He cannot even give a verdict over any case without the Nigerian police. Tó bá ti bá wọn tó ń gbẹ́jọ́ wá sọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀, tó bá ti bá wọn ṣe investigation go tán, he hands over to the police. So if you people do not believe in this police, kí ló dé tẹ́ ẹ wá tún lọ competition ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ náà lẹ gbé bàbá lọ sí zone 2. Ẹ débẹ̀ ń sin ẹ rí pé ẹ tẹ́ bọ̀. Ẹ tún wá ní bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́, ẹ wá tún japoro. Does that not tell you people where you are already, in fact, eti shetan, kede wa retrace steps in popo ka. Abi ra àwọn tó kún yín. Dodo ko ni ko bota Aries, ko wọlé ko má rí ẹ, ó tán, ko wọlé. Tó bá rí ẹ lọ́jọ́ méjì, má wo tàwọn tó ń pè ẹ́ pé o kò lè bóde, má wo tí wọ́n ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ pò rí wọn. Tó bá rí ẹ fọ́sẹ̀ kan ṣẹ̀ méjì, wọ́n á gbàgbé ẹ. But ètò tí wọ́n ń jáde, you keep coming out to come and make a foolery of yourself. Because that's all I see in you, madam. Me, I'm not a constant TikTok. I'm not even on TikTok. Wumi's case, look, baby, what? If you go to my profile and see, you will not see any picture there. But bubu shite she àárín tèmi ni wípé, who are you guys competing with? If you are sure about this justice for Mohbad, if you know that your motives are true, who are you competing with? Tí bàbá bá ti ń ṣe rádaràda, kí ló dé tẹ̀lé bá wí? Àwí tán, bọ̀dá òde African television ó lè, ó ní 70-30. Òun náà sọ̀rọ̀ lánàá. Bá ti ẹ̀ mọ gbogbo èèyàn mú mọ wá dáadáa. Ara Sango Ọ̀tà, ó lè. Bukky Jesse náà ló jáṣẹ́ ẹ̀. Ọpẹ́lọpẹ́ Bukky Jesse tó ń parọ́ òṣì oríṣiríṣi. You claim to have a television, kìnìkan. You claim to have kìnìkan. You could not even defend it. You couldn't even defend whatever it is that you have as an organization. Ó sáré mú bàbá mọ́ra, ìwọ tó ló fẹ́ fún yàn kan ní 10 million naira. Báwo láyé ẹ ṣe rí? Ìwọ náà wá ń sọ wípé whatever Suzy said yesterday is true. There must be a DNA. Ìgbà kan àwo kan. Nǹkan tí Karimo bá sọ. Hold Karimo to it now. Go and face Karimo, leave Wunmi now. Wọ́n ṣépè fún ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Karimo lẹ́tí gbọ́ ṣẹ́gbọ́n lẹ́nu Wunmi ni. Did Wunmi come to tell you that her baby was switched? Did she tell you that she didn't bring home the right baby? You said you heard it from Karimo. Yes, Karimo can be Wunmi's sister. Go ahead and petition Karimo now. We pay, okay, baby will lost switch. Let her come and tell you whatever it is she knows. Leave Wunmi the hell alone. Ole. African television, ole. Àgbàlagbà. Aláìní tìjú. Ó ti lò gbogbo ìgbésí ayé ẹ̀, ó ti fi ṣòṣì. Ó wá rò pé bí ó ti rí avenue, ó ti rí platform tó fi máa kówó jọ, tó fi máa kówó jẹ, ó lè ọ̀fọ́n. Ó rò pé kò ọ̀run máa wò irú ìwọ bá wò. Kàkà bẹ́ẹ̀ Mohbad máa yọ ẹ́ lẹ́sẹ̀ ni, ó máa tẹ̀lé ni. Tó bá jẹ́ pé bàbá lọ sign nírú nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn tẹ́ pé ó wá padà bọ́ sí ẹ lọ́wọ́, ọ̀run ló jẹ́, àràm ló jẹ́, ó máa tẹ̀lé ni. Ìwọ bí báwo. Wèrè very dark man gbélẹ̀, ìwọ hàn. And you are still there. I was even surprised to see you yesterday on that platform. Mo wò pé òkújí ni, eléyìí tún ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀, àìnítìjú, ẹ̀yin jàtijàti rédèrèdè, ẹ̀yin olòṣì burúkú yìí tó jẹ́ pé jẹ́ káwọn ọmọ yín kan mú ọ̀rẹ́ kọjá yín pé kí lẹ̀ ń ṣe. I'm sure you should be in your 60s. You should be in your 60s. Bí mo ṣe ń wẹ̀ ò kì í ṣe ọmọdé mọ́. At 60, ó lọ jókòó. Kó lọ wo bí táwọn ẹgbẹ́ tó fi àdàbà ayé wọn tó fi sí wípé òkè àwọn ti ṣiṣẹ́ àsìkò tó káwọn máa jẹun ọmọ olóṣì ó fẹ́ jẹ níbi tó ò ti ṣiṣẹ́ ó fẹ́ jẹ oúnjẹ ọmọ inú ẹ̀ ó lè ó fẹ́ gbọ̀nà ẹ̀bùrú ó fẹ́ fi jòógùn ọmọ lọ́mọ. Ìwọ mọ Mohbad nígbà tó wà láyé ni kátẹ̀ wá lóò mọ̀ ìgbà tí yà ń jẹ́ kiri ó bọ́ta ń gbà yẹn kó sọ wípé rìn kìnìkan African television pẹ̀lú àwọn fake actors ṣé asset yẹn tiẹ̀ máa ń bí mi nínú mi mọ bó ṣe máa ń fọ́ mi lórí ẹjọ́ torí Ọlọ́run ṣọ́ bí sọ̀hún náà wọ́n tó bí sọ̀hún gan-an.
Àwọn accent òṣì. Accent burúkú ti Aries àti ẹ̀mọ́ accent ti Aries bóyá ti Ondo ni bóyá ti Edo ni a ṣáà mix gbogbo ẹ̀ pọ̀. Accent òṣì.
Ṣé bá tẹ̀lé ti Suzy yẹn mi mọ bí ti Suzy ẹjọ́ ìlú wo ni ẹ wà.
Suzy náà ni nítorí ó dà pé mo máa ń mix àwọn méjèèjì ó dà pé Suzy yẹn náà ni accent òṣì mo ní láti kọ́ sílẹ̀ pé ní accent ti yí agbára.
Ohun yẹn ò jọ Yorùbá lánàá.
No, she's from Benin.
Even at that. You start talking plain Yoruba. Plain Nigerian
American accent. It's alarming here. She not block me here. Mo kọ rí pé mi ò ríra bí mo lórí page yẹn.
Ẹ má ní bóyá wọ́n ti block yín ní face reality.
Ẹ kálẹ́ o.
Padà block èmi gan kúrò ń bẹ̀ ni.
Okay. Mo kọ́ báyìí mo kọ rí pé mi dẹ̀ ríra mi mọ́ mi.
wọ́n já yín dànù ni pé
Hello ma, ẹ kálẹ́ o.
Ẹ káalẹ́ o,
ó
Jesus
sọ gbogbo ó
is
dá gbogbo òyìnbó náà ó dá gbogbo òyìnbó náà.
sísá ọlájẹwàbí wọ́n máa round up ní ẹsẹ̀ ń pẹ́ṣẹ̀ bọ́ sí jọ́sí
ẹ jọ̀ọ́ jẹ́ kí n sáré sọ̀rọ̀ tán ìjọ tó yọ náà máa ní sọ̀rọ̀ tán.
àmì ẹ̀ ní
because
sọ́kà
àná
bọ́ pé
yẹn ó
máa
dùn
round
mí
up fún nǹkan lè sọ̀rọ̀ kan ní sùúrù.
ó dùn mí torí mo fẹ́ lọ sókè mo fẹ́ jẹ́ ká aristocrat yẹn mọ̀ wípé òṣì ló ń ṣe. You cannot ẹyẹ máa parọ́. Yes, we know Temi's platform is strictly for Wunmi. Ìyẹn fine. Papariano, Arifa and the likes àwọn ọmọ ẹmọ pé bàbá Mohbad. You cannot say you have a platform pé everybody wá máa sọ̀rọ̀ kó wá máa fún àwọn kan láyè kó máa sọ òṣì. Ìgbà tí èèyàn kan sọ̀rọ̀ ẹni yẹn sọ wípé kí ló dé tí Suzy ṣe ṣẹpẹtẹ́rì olóògbọ́. Another person bọ́ta ìyẹn náà tún dárúkọ ṣẹpẹtẹ́rì ó wá níta ló ń jẹ́ ṣẹpẹtẹ́rì awítán idiot kan tó ń pè ní Bayo Bullion àbí kíní kan ìyẹn ní assistant musician Mohbad ló ń jẹ́ bàbí kíní wo lórí búkú tẹ̀ ṣe sọ kó tó di pé ó sọ pé Ìyábọ̀ Òjó and I was even happy pé Suzy fúnra rẹ̀ sọ wípé Ìyábọ̀ Òjó lòun refer sí as ṣẹpẹtẹ́rì and you claim to be impartial. No, now you're a very partial person. Kẹ́ palẹ̀ mọ́ kẹ́ kó ṣì kẹ́ kó fò kẹ́ kó àdánù kúrò lórí kíkẹ́ fi Wùnmí sílẹ̀ ayé gbogbo yín máa bàjẹ́ ni níbi tá a tẹ̀jọ́ bá dé yìí pé lá máa fi bá ti ń jẹ́ ibikíbi tí bá ti rí mi ò ní wọbẹ̀ bọ̀ tèmi máa fi èpè àti tàbátì àdàlàbílàbí máa fi bá ti ń jẹ́ ni tẹ́ bá ní kọ́mọ yẹn má sinmi ẹ̀ ní nísìmí àwọn ọmọ yóò ní nísìmí ẹ̀ ń gan ẹ̀ máa ti oko òrókòtò dóko òrókòtò dáyé yín máa bàjẹ́ ni leave that girl alone ẹ̀ tó bá mọ̀ pé òun tó bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ̀ dára yín lójú come to Nigeria please we need you here. When I know that people like you are in Nigeria, me going, hey, just let us just know, okay, court wa lọ́jọ́ báyìí o, gbogbo wa ká pàdé, let us just be there. Ẹni tádájọ́ máa tìmọ́lé àtìmọ́lé inú wa tá a bá máa fi da court rú, ẹni tó bá máa gbé lọ sẹ́wọ̀n àti bẹ̀ lọ, we will go and we will come back. Let us just trash this once and for all. Leave Wunmi alone. It is very obvious. She has talked. She has said what she has to say. Her truth is her truth. Kò sí kò tẹ́ lè ṣe sí. Let her be. That's my submission. Thank you very much.